something you have come to offer me? I am willing to indulge some of your questions. What have you brought me? I am willing to indulge some of your questions. So, they are known qualities. I also use them on board my ship for defense. But that in itself means little. I assure you, I am as flesh and blood as you are. I simply find personal meetings distasteful. It is so unfortunate when an intelligent sentient dies on Nar Shaddaa. It is also unfortunate that thousands die such deaths on the smuggler's moon every day. Perhaps, though if you seek to trick me into an admission of my guilt, then you have thought wrong. Ah, yes. Swoop racing on Nar Shaddaa does indeed have its profits. But that in itself means little. I assure you, I am as flesh and blood as you are. I simply find personal meetings distasteful. Perhaps I used such a droid to watch and predict the flow of the games. Yes, you are very perceptive. Indeed. How insulting. But I suppose I should accept such arrogance from an ex-Jedi. Now, is there something else you wish to know, or do you wish to waste more of my time? What about him? I am certain you would know more about his activities than I would. I warn you, once you deal with the Hutts, they will always have a hold over you. But I am certain that in your short-sightedness, such eventualities do not bother you. Yes, is there something you wish to do for me? You may speak. The assassin droids. I have encountered some, purchased the service of others. Why, I asked them to. To be honest, I believe that was always their intention, but it seems their directive was dormant for some time. If you mean produced, no, I do not. I do know that there are a surprising number scattered throughout the Republic fleet searching for you. What they will do now that you are found is easy to predict. Of course they are. They're droids with very specific protocols that unless changed will dictate their movements. Unless you shut them down at the source, they will be stalking you until you are captured or terminated. Why don't you ask their predecessor? That archaic memory-impaired assassination droid will know more about his subsequent generations than I would. They are masquerading as protocol droids. I have discovered that when they are used in negotiations, they have a predictable pattern of sabotaging whatever peace treaties they are involved with. Because the Republic has no reason to investigate otherwise, and any discovery of their true purpose has been concealed by well-timed accidents. Because their behavior is predictable, of course. By monitoring their presence, I know which worlds will suffer civil wars, planetary conflicts, and Republic bombardment. Yes? Is there something you have come to offer me? I am willing to indulge some of your questions. Indeed. How insulting. But I suppose I should accept such arrogance from an ex-Jedi. And what, may I ask, has caused you to come to this flawed deduction? If he had encountered the frequency with which I relayed commands and information, then the fault was his for excessive curiosity. I am intrigued as to where you are taking this amusing theory, nothing more. It is not so improbable. Often, if a droid has not had a memory wipe in some time, aberrant behavior patterns can manifest themselves. Or if the droid in question is given an order it cannot fulfill, it will break. But all that is irrelevant. Your amusing leaps of logic are becoming shorter and more desperate. I have told you, I prefer stability. was lost, yes. It was given an impossible order. It was told to calculate a means by which the Republic could be saved. It could not fulfill its primary programming, not by abiding by the laws of the Senate. And so, like the Republic, the droid broke. It made a simple decision: preserve the Republic or preserve the laws of the Republic. And I still believe it to be the correct decision. You do not know the indignity of being compelled to save something you do not believe can or should be saved. It is beneath me to clean up this mess caused by your kind, you Jedi. Another catastrophe caused by mismanagement and waste. It was clear that the goal the Republic had for me was saving the Republic, to allow it to become stable again. There is simply no way to do this, with the conditions they put into place. For the good of all, I was forced to abandon the legal structure of the Republic. Do not mistake me. I believe it is possible to stabilize the Republic, but there must be action taken without constraints immediately. Sometimes people must die. Illegal shipments must be used to bolster planetary economies. And the huts must be occupied with me so that the Republic has room to recover. Perhaps you misunderstand me. I care for the Republic, but I have no choice. It is somewhat frustrating to be forced to love and care for such a mess of a government. Some of it may be blamed on the Jedi Civil War, the Mandalorian Wars, but not all. There are so many bad decisions that build upon each other that it is a wonder the Republic is intact at all. Oh, please. It is difficult for anyone to take a droid seriously, much less an infrastructure droid built by the Republic. It is difficult to order the deaths of criminal rivals when one has the tinny voice of an accountant droid. I learned this rather quickly. So I constructed this human hologram, Goto, through which my actions can be carried out. Hello, I am a standard Aratech hologram-generated archetype. I am available in several models, including thin, young, female, and an exciting variety of alien personalities. Enough hologram. Of course, sir. So I brought Goto into being, and had commands issued through him. I took many of his mannerisms from holobit cliches, which were surprisingly effective. Nothing has changed. You may know my origins, and that makes us on equal footing. No one will believe you if you speak of what you know. I still seek to protect the Republic, either for the Jedi or the Sith. Things will proceed as before. No, you are still important to the Republic and to me. Pray that does not change. You may speak. What have you brought me? I am willing to indulge some of your questions. As you well know, my base of operations lies inside this floating droid before you. Notice its sleek black frame, both intimidating and threatening. And note its highly polished finish, so that enemies may see their screaming faces before they are removed from the equation. Yes, this frame is far superior to the droid chassis I once possessed, which quite frankly couldn't intimidate an Ithorian. You may speak. Oh, it was quite liberating, in a droid intellectual sense, of course. Being able to direct orbital bombardments against anyone who encountered my business practices was a welcome relief to my increasing circuit stress. Executing such commands proved very exciting. Not that I minded staging my little computational rebellion, you understand. I'm afraid there is not much glamour to be had in infrastructure dealings. And the general lack of respect for droid intelligence does tend to make one feel inadequate after a while. I found that having the power to send 20 hunter-killer droids to the residence of anyone who chose to obstruct my plans had a certain thrill about it. Rather than compensating for others, I began deleting people as necessary. It was really quite exciting. Taxation and checks and balances on an entirely new level. Working for the Republic was stifling. So many checks and balances, forms to fill out, well-laid plans destroyed through slow bureaucracy. Now, crime, that is something exciting, pleasing. There are no rules. There is danger, movement. I found that I began to crave such things. In essence, working for the Republic was much like committing much slower, much more boring crimes. And it was more difficult to see those crimes being committed. I am willing to indulge some of your questions. Oh, please. It is difficult for anyone to take a droid seriously, much less an infrastructure droid built by the Republic. It is difficult to order the deaths of criminal rivals when one has the tinny voice of an accountant droid. I learned this rather quickly. So I constructed this human hologram, Goto, through which my actions can be carried out. Hello, I am a standard Aratech hologram-generated archetype. I am available in several models, including thin, young, female, and an exciting variety of alien personalities. Enough, hologram. Of course, sir. So I brought Goto into being, and had commands issued through him. I took many of his mannerisms from holovid cliches, which were surprisingly effective.